Let's go! Wait, Kiko! Where are you going? It's time for the Little Farmer Show! Hey everyone, I'm Kiko! Hey, I'm Hava! Yay! I'm Tiki!
Hello, it's me, Rob.
Yippee! Hey, I am Maisie!
Maisie, stop running! Hello, lovelies. My name is Carol.
Hello everybody, this is the Little Farmer Show and we are still at Asifiwe International Academy, and this is the last episode that we'll be shooting here as we set up our urban farms here at Asifiwe. And this time we're going to be talking about microgreens. But I know most about micro gardening, but Ms Joan is going to tell us more about microgreens. So micro gardening is the type of farming where we harvest the plants when the first leaves have just come out. So as soon as the first leaves come out, then we harvest. I think that's really interesting. Ms Joan, would you take us away?
Okay, thank you so much. Hava, anyone who knows anything more about microgreens before I go any further? Lisa, do you have anything to know about microgreens?
What I know about microgreens is that they are plants that are approximately 1 to 3 inches tall.
Okay, this is interesting. Yaniv?
Microgreens take 2 to 3 weeks to grow.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the research. You guys are doing so great. Now, microgreens, these are simply the smaller versions of these normal vegetables. The vegetables that like sukuma wiki, the vegetables like broccoli, the vegetables like spinach, and so on and so forth. Now, these microgreens are simply called like vegetables that are grown and harvested at cotyledonous stage. The moment they reach the cotyledonous stage, that is when we harvest them. And why do you think we harvest them at that stage? Anyone who made some research about that?
They are healthy at that stage.
Okay.
They have more nutrients at that stage.
Yes, actually, the microgreen version of an original vegetable, it contains 90 times more nutrients than the fully grown vegetable. Perhaps if it is sukuma wiki, the microgreen of sukuma wiki contains 90 times more nutrients than the fully grown sukuma wiki. Isn't that interesting?
Very. So my understanding of micro is really tiny. So if the microgreens are really tiny, how do they satisfy somebody?
No, that is just a term we use to identify these the vegetables because they are smaller versions. So in our language, the agricultural language, we term something that is a smaller version of this particular original thing to be micro. But it's not necessarily like we are seeing they can only see them under a microscope. No.
Yes.
We can see them with our eyes, like how we are going to see them after them sprouting out.
So are they satisfying?
Yes, they're satisfying, and I'll show you how we can come about with that. Yes, Yaniv?
You know, when microgreens are still very little, how do you identify from sukuma wiki and spinach?
Now,
don't they look the same?
Now that you're going to identify based on what you use to plant. What kind of seed did you use? From the seed, that's when you can identify that this is sukuma wiki, this is broccoli. And even with experience as a farmer, you're going to start seeing the differences each crop has after germination.
Can't you differentiate them from the leaves because spinach grows darker than sukuma wiki?
No, it's not going to be easy for you. Actually, that is going to be subjective based on what you can see. But as I said earlier, it's going to come with experience as a farmer. With experience, you're going to start identifying that this is now sukuma, this is now spinach, this is carrot, like that. But when the crops are growing, they are more or less the same. Only if you have like experience on that very thing. Yeah? Yeah, thank you.
All right, so let's go for a break. But before we go for a break, what are the things that we need for micro gardening and growing microgreens, and what are we going to use today?
Okay, we need a couple of items. First and foremost, we have to be ready with our seed. You have to know what kind of crop you have to plant. Different crops can be used to grow microgreens. For example, all vegetables can grow microgreens. Yeah?
Yes.
As long as we have their seed, we can grow microgreens. And some microgreens are have a higher nutrient level than the others, based on the nutrient composition of that particular plant.
Yes.
Yeah? We need the microgreen tray. This is a tray which we use to plant microgreens. If you don't have this tray, you can improvise. You can use anything. You can use anything plastic. You can use a plastic material. You can use anything that can contain soil, but in this case now we're going to plant microgreens. We're not going to plant the seedlings, right?
Yes.
We need soil. For the microgreens, we need to have soil when it is very, very well and ready. Our soil should be free from objects like the metals, polythene, and which other things do you think are disastrous in the soil?
Stones.
Stones, yes. Yes, Larry.
Dead animals. Dead animals' bones.
Dead animal bones. Okay, that is good. Heavy. Even hair, any hair is not good in the soil.
It's not good enough. How about like materials like plastic chips or broken bottle tops?
Broken bottle top, all those things are supposed to be removed out to make our soil clean. For soil to be used for microgreen growing has to be clean.
Yes.
It should be free from all those foreign materials, and it should be properly fertilized. It should be fertilized soil. Because these, you're not going to have that addition of extra nutrients. You have to incorporate it in the soil, so the soil has to be ready to plant.
So we have to carefully prepare the soil.
Yes, we need to carefully prepare the soil. So we also need an hand sprayer, and someone can pass it. That is our hand sprayer. It's what you use to water microgreens, as you're going to see after planting. Thank you.
So guys, let's go clean our soil, prepare it properly, and we will be right back to plant the microgreens.
Hey guys, welcome back from the break. We are just going to plant our first microgreen farm at Asifiwe International Academy. I'm your host Larry, and this is
Hava.
Now our soil is ready. What is next, Teacher John?
Okay, thank you so much for preparing this soil. Our soil is very, very ready, very loose enough. Now, what you have to know before planting, we have to make sure, you have to ensure that the soil has nothing like any foreign material. I hope we removed everything.
Yes, we did.
Because we don't want to touch and then something cuts our fingers, right?
Yes.
Now, what do we do after? We are going to get our seed. We're going to get our seed. Someone can pass me the tin, please. This is our seed. And when you're planting, we do broadcasting. It is a random application. Yeah? And you have to ensure that you put as much seed as you can. Yeah? Enough seed that this tray can contain.
Yes.
So, how do you plant? We put seed in our hands. Yes, I'm going to show you. Then after, I'll give everyone to plant. So we get seed in our hands, and you're going to come sprinkling like that. Yeah, just sprinkling as if you are sprinkling icing. Yeah, can you try? After broadcasting our seed, we make sure that there is an even application. Yeah, we make sure that every part, soil part gets this seed. So what do? Remove where there is that too much seed. You try to remove and then place it where there is no seed. You have to ensure that we try to economize on the seed, because you don't have to waste seed. This tin of seed can plant as much. It can plant as many trays as possible. Yes. When you economize. So, after we have broadcasted, we are going to get a very thin layer of soil, and we're going to cover it on top.
Isn't the tray too shallow for the microgreens?
It's not. That is the right depth. Based on their depth requirement, this is the right depth, because they don't grow so much underneath. Yeah? So they don't require a very big rooting depth. This is actually enough.
Why do we add a thin layer of soil?
Okay. Initially, when crops are germinating, they don't need light. Yeah? Light is not needed during germination. What we need is the warmth and then the oxygen.
Yes.
Yeah? So covering a thin layer of soil, it's going to bring up that darkness on top, and then it's going to help this plant, it's going to struggle to come out.
Yeah.
Actually, fasten germination if we cover on top. And with time, as we proceed, I'm going to tell you that we are supposed to put some weight on top. Putting some weight on top is going to fasten and it's going to quicken the germination process. So these microgreens are going to be out in the first time, as like in the very, very first time.
I have a question. How long are the microgreens going to take to grow?
The different microgreens grow in different periods. For example, some take 7 days, others take 8, others 10. But the general duration is between 7 to 14 days. That is the standard time. Yeah. And within the 7 to 14 days, you are harvesting and eating. They are very, very ready for eating. Beyond that, they have become seedlings.
Oh, yes.
Beyond the 14 days, meaning they're going to become so much fibrous, and now we are going to be considering them as seedlings ready for planting. Yeah.
So each microgreen does have a specific duration and...
Yes, basing on the family from which it comes from.
Yeah.
Things to do with cabbage family will always take 7 to 8 days. That is the time they take to grow. Others beyond that, things to do with... Now, for amaranthus, it even can take 5 days and you're eating.
Yes.
Things to do with kale it can take around 8 days, 7 days. Skuma takes around 9 to 12. Then when you go to spinach, it's also the same range. So they differ basing on the family and the nutrient needs by each.
So apart from microgreens being highly nutritious, what other advantages are there?
Okay. First and foremost, they're easy to grow.
Yeah,
they don't require those sophisticated requirements,
Yes.
complicated things that you have to grow them. They have to grow them in greenhouse. No, you can grow them in anything you can get. Even getting just a plate or any container, you can raise these microgreens.
Yes.
So first of all, they're easy to grow. The other thing is, in addition to the nutrients, the nutrients they contain. For example, microgreens are rich in that soluble protein. When it's given to children, especially children, it can easily dissolve through their bodies. So the proteins work straight away. We don't need to take so long to work in their bodies. That is why it is used for people who are malnourished. It can be a very good source of protein. And also it contains iron. Yeah? Microgreens of things to do with beetroot are very, very good sources of iron, which can help to curb anemia, right?
Yes.
Then, these microgreens, you can also do them, of course, as a source of income. This is a new venture. It's not everywhere. A few people are practicing this. So, venturing into this business can be a very good source of income and also engaging.
Today, I just saw the tiniest crops ever. And brings me to our fact for today, microgreens. Now, microgreens are the easiest to grow because they grow between 7 to 10 days and you can harvest. But here is the most important fact about these magical plants. They are packed high with vitamins and all the minerals that you would need to grow a strong and healthy body.
Ms. Joan, I see that we have planted on a tray. So do we leave it outside or do we take it inside? And also, like for example, when it rains, if we leave it outside and it rains, I feel like it would drown the seeds.
Okay, before we go to that, first and foremost, immediately you plant, you have to water. you just need to add sprinkle water on top. And this we use the same way we were watering the vegetables. We just need to add very little water just to moisten the soil.
Yes.
So, Javi, you're going to help us with watering. You're going to just moisten the soil.
Sorry. It's a shower for the party. It's a shower for the penguins.
It's enough? It's enough, Javi. Thank you. So, after moistening the soil, we need to add weight on top. I say, what does the weight contribute to? Like, what does it bring?
You had said that the weight helps it grow faster.
Yeah, they help them to come out fast. So when you apply weight on top, they're going to struggle coming out, and then they're going to grow faster. You speed up germination by adding weight. This weight, we can add anything. We can add maybe some covering on top, maybe a sack, maybe some polythene on top, maybe anything you can use, yeah, but not your clothes. So when we finish planting our microgreens with a tray, these are grown inside the house, the in-house plants.
Yes.
So first and foremost, we are going to, when we put the covering, and we are going to keep monitoring for 3 days. We are going to keep this covering for 3 days. Within the 3 days, we anticipate that the crops are out, they have germinated. So you're going to remove this covering, and after, you're going to expose them to a place where they can easily access light.
Yes.
I've said light, not the sun. Yeah?
Bulbs.
Yeah.
Bulbs.
Near a window.
Like you mean
Near,
bulbs?
we need natural light. Near a window. Near a window where something with the light can easily pass.
Yeah, but not necessarily the hot sun.
Not the hot sun.
All right.
Why not? Why not the hot sun? These vegetables are so fragile and tender. They can easily be burnt by the sun. So those are 3 days. 3 days. 3 days. We said you can get them to the place where they can easily access light.
Yes.
Now between 4 to 5 days, these vegetables are fully grown. In that 2 days, they are grown. Now we can bring them to a gradual access to light, like gradually. Meaning you can say, in the morning I'll put them out for these hours. Yeah? Why do you think we would do that? Anyone who can guess?
Because there is less sunshine in the morning.
Okay, there is less sunshine in the morning.
There is more vitamin than like hotness.
Yes, I love you thinking. That is very good and so brilliant. Yeah, that's why we always put them in the sun, because we want to ease the process of what we call the making of food. What process is that?
Photosynthesis.
Photosynthesis. So they need to do that photosynthesis, right? They need to convert those photoassimilates into food.
Yes.
So that we can have them at the 7th day when they are ready for eating.
Yes.
You get?
Yes.
So we need to put them out in the sun gradually. Maybe you can say, at this time I'll put them for like an hour and remove them. Because when you leave them in the hot sun, you're going to find them all burned. So we anticipate that on the 7th day, they're going to be ready for planting. You don't need to extend, because when they extend those days, they're going to be now fibrous. Yet we need them when they're still having those tender shoots. That is when they contain the highest level of nutrients. And those are nutrients that we need to get. So what I forgot to say, within those days, you have to keep on monitoring and at the same time watering. You have to water morning and evening if it's still hot. If it is not hot like this season we're in, you can water once, but have a consistent time. If you decide to water in the morning, water in the morning.
So little farmers, today we have learnt about microgreens, and this is another idea to beautify your home and yet have something healthy for your baby sister, for your baby brother, for you yourself, mom and dad. So why don't you join us, little farmers, and practice micro gardening and practice the vertical farming and the recyclable bottle farming. I believe it will be an amazing experience for you and your household, and we would love to see your footage and your progress as you continue to plant and practice all these things. So you could visit us on our website www.littlefarmersafrica.com, and we'll be so excited to see your footage. So we will be harvesting in 7 days, and it has been your host Hava
And your host Larry.
And a super team, and we are bringing coolness back to farming.
Okay, be sure to watch the Little Farmers Africa show next time.
Bye-bye and see you.
Little cheeky, walk on the farm and life amazing. Cows and dressed to the touch of green. It's fun for all and rubber grease. On the Little Farmers show, we farm, we land, we grow. Your favorite children's show.